Hola, buenas tardes. Vamos a repasar cláusulas de tiempo, el futuro y el subjuntivo. Bien, esta es materia nueva. This is some new material. So we're going back to page, la página 420, and we're thinking about the subjunctive and time clauses. So it's important that you memorize those cláusulas adverbiales con escapar en caso de que, sin que. Those always require the use of the subjunctive. Here we're going to look at some clauses, time clauses that sometimes require the subjunctive, sometimes require the indicative, and sometimes can be used in the past tense. So these first examples you see here are examples where there is something that's habitual. So cuando, we've always used cuando, después de que. So we've used these to talk about habitual actions. So here you're going to see some keywords like siempre, todos los días, or maybe you're just going to see both the verbs and the present indicative, and that indicates that this is something that's habitual. The next examples we're going to look at are the ones with the subjunctive. So you're going to see the first part of the verb, or the first part of the sentence is going to be a verb in the future tense, something that's not completed, that's not habitual. So you could see the future tense, or if you look down here, you could just see, you could just see down here, cuando mamá se sienta mejor, quiero ir a la iglesia con ella. So this isn't necessarily in the future, but it's also not habitual and it's not in the past, so it's going to indicate the use of the subjunctive, which is what you see right here. And then the last letter C, is just a review that always after antes de que you use the subjunctive. So let's look at this a little bit more. These are some of the words that we're using, or the time clauses that we're using. In cuanto is as soon as. Also tan pronto como means the same thing. Cuando is when. Después de que is after. Hasta que is until. And then you have a couple other ones. Aunque, mientras, donde, según. So sometimes you'll use these with the subjunctive, but we aren't going to really talk about them in this class. So for example, with cuando, you can use the past tense. Ayer salí de la casa cuando terminé la tarea. It's past, all these actions are completed, there's no use for the subjunctive. The second one, siempre estoy feliz cuando tengo tiempo libre. Always, I'm always happy when I have free time. So siempre, todos los días, both of the verbs are in the present indicative. No need for the subjunctive. The third one, you're going to see the future. Iremos a la playa cuando haga sol. So we will go to the beach when it's sunny. That cuando haga sol is in the subjunctive, so we aren't sure if it's going to actually be sunny, so that's why we use a subjunctive there, right after cuando. Some more examples, you're going to see the future. Me va a saludar cuando llegue, right, after cuando. And the same structure we use with escapar with all of those phrases, right after the adverbial clauses when you're going to use a subjunctive. So tan pronto como pueda, te llamo, o en cuanto salga la película, compraré las entradas. Mientras que estés enfermo, no podrás ir a la escuela. Te voy a esperar hasta que vengas. And then quiero nadar aunque haga mucho frío. Bien? Okay, so lots of uses of the subjunctive there. You're going to also be noticing the use of the future tense. See? Indicative, you're going to always see words like siempre, so something that's habitual. Siempre me saluda cuando llega. No subjunctive there, all in the present indicative. And then the last three are examples in the past tense. So tan pronto como pude, te llamé. En cuanto se estrenó la obra, se agotaron las entradas. And then hablé con ella en cuanto la vi. All completed actions in the past tense, so no need for the subjunctive there. Ahora vamos a practicar. So reading through this sentence here, you're going to decide if the action's in the future, so you're going to choose FA. If it's something that's habitual, H, or if it's in the past and completed. Good? So number one, when I have time, I'll talk to you about your rights. Número dos, when I lent Bill money, he paid me back a year later. The third one, my friends ask for money, I usually say yes. Until my check arrives, I can't help you. I'll call you as soon as my money is deposited. It's always difficult when you have a well-paying job. As soon as the economy gets better, they will look for work. And here you're going to actually choose between the future, the past, or the subjunctive. So tan pronto como la cuarentena, quiero ir al cine. Tan pronto como el atardecer, siempre pongo una chaqueta. And then anoche dormí tan pronto como la cena. Bien, buen trabajo.